Finally, the time came to change my strings. I started on one end of my wall and then worked my way from right to left. The Schecter is usually my go-to bass, so I'll start with that. First, I loosened all the strings, operating with one hand while filming with the phone in the other. Sucks. Oh well. When the strings are sufficiently loose, you can either cut the curly ends or get them straight without hurting yourself. And getting them out on the bridge, or you just cut them at the ball end. Whatever you do, just don't try to damage the finish or the fretboard with the cutter. Now it's time to clean the instrument thoroughly. I'm using these products. You're free to use whatever stuff you want from other brands. First I put some weapon oil on paper towel to clean the fretboard. I originally planned to use steel wool, but they didn't have wool fine enough at the gun store, so I just bought the oil and I didn't regret it. I made sure to get all the gunk and stains off the fretboard, and that's what it should look like. After that I cleaned the body, a few squirts of cleaner, and then wiping with a clean cloth. Get the front, the back, the neck, the headstock, everything but the untreated fretboard. Some of my fellow musicians use window cleaner for that, and it also does the trick. Then I used oil to treat the fretboard. When you have a lacquered fretboard, you can clean it with window cleaner or anything else and skip this step. I'm not an expert when it comes to oil or treating fretboards, but this Dunlop bottle makes application really easy. Got the fretboard covered with a thin film and then set it aside for 10 minutes. After the fretboard had time to absorb the oil, I wiped the rest off with another clean paper towel. Now we're finally getting to the restringing part. When I got the strings out of the package, make sure not to twist or bend them. Also try not to scratch the body when threading. That the word you use here? Anyway, when you get the string through the bridge, try not to scratch anything. Align it with the correct peg. I usually cut my strings 5.5 to 6 centimeters behind the peg, so I don't have to wind up the string for more than 2 times around the peg. Stick it in, bend it towards the middle of the headstock, and then start turning the peg. I always make sure that the string stays right next to the peg and wind tightly around it. Finally, the strings looks like that. It's not up to pitch, but tight enough not to fall off. Right, here's an example where I try not to scratch the body, pulling the string through the bridge. Mostly happened to me with thicker strings. Then measure, clip, stick it in, and wind it up again. See, it's actually not that bad. Now comes the fun part, setting up the bass. First, tune everything up to pitch. Then stretch the strings, give them a little massage, and tune them up again. When the tension settles, I adjusted the truss rod and the string height to be comfortable for me and get rid of the buzzing. After that, retuning the bass. Then, and only when you're comfortable with your setup, comes the intonation. For this I usually try to get the note of the 12th fret correct, and you have to adjust it by shortening or extending the string by adjusting the bridge. When the note is too high at the 12th fret, you pull the string saddle back, and if it's too low, you move it forward. After that you have to retune, check, and adjust the bridge until it's perfect. That should do the trick. Thanks for watching. Have fun maintaining and playing your instrument. See you next time.